Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Dimitri. Today we're gonna be working on validation attributes on .NET Core. Alright, so I'm basically building a MVC application. So I'm on the model. So I have this model called car. And if we go over the application, if you run the application, you're gonna have to insert make, city, and a price in order to update this data. Okay, let's say if you insert make this city like this and price like this, and you create that, then it's gonna update like this. But in the real life it makes no sense to update a make that doesn't exist, right? Or a city that doesn't exist. So we have to actually get some validation in order to avoid this problem. So let's just delete this right now and let's just go over our application and let's start adding some attributes. So some of the most common attributes, it's let's say required. That's one of those. Required. Make sure that you add the system.componentModel.data annotations in order to work with data annotations. Okay, I'm gonna stop the application because it was running, and we're gonna be working on this. Okay, I need this make to be required because my business rule is that this is basically a junk a company. They buy cars like to junk those cars. So this is gonna be required, our make, but we also need a city and a price. So we are gonna need the required in our city as well. So these attributes are going to go here on top of the properties. So I need this to be required as well, and I need my price to be required as well. So now the application is not gonna let me let's say leave blank spaces because all these properties are required. What else do we need for make, for example? Let's think about it. I'm gonna need this other attribute, um, max length. I want a max length of 20. I don't want anybody typing a make that has more than 20 letters. Okay, either you have a Honda or a Nissan or a Chevrolet, but you don't have a make that has more like 20 letters. So I'm gonna have to basically work with this one, max length, and it's gonna be 20, the maximum. Let's think about something else. If we go here on price, I want this to be displayed as a currency. So we're gonna use another attribute called data type, and inside data type we can have data type currency. Okay, so this is gonna allow me to see this price as a currency. Let's add another attribute here. So these attributes really depend on what you really want. So for this price, I want it to be from 0 to 1,000 because we're not gonna buy cars from more than $1,000. So I'm just gonna do a range, and I want that price to go from 0, if it's a donation or something like that, to 1,000. That's it. We're not gonna give more money. Okay. So That's another attribute. And another important attribute, it's the display attribute. So let's just add display, and I want this to be displayed as a name, price in US dollars. So this display basically is gonna show me price in US dollars instead of just price. All right, so these are pretty much some of the attributes that you kind of use all the time, like the important attributes. So let's just go over the application. Let's just run it and it should work. The max length, there's also an attribute for minimum length. So we may be using that one in a second. Okay, let's just run the application and let's see what's going on. So basically, if I'm gonna, let's say I'm gonna leave make blank, there should show me an error. And let's see how it's working. So if I'm going to create a new one, make, I'm just gonna leave it like that. City, let's say Milwaukee, and price in dollars, let's say 2000. And then I'm just gonna go to create. This is the first error, so must be between 0 and 1000, right? Because that's one of the attributes that we had. Let's say 900. Okay, let's say create, and here it says, oh, the make field is required. So that's perfect. So our attributes are working. So make, let's say it's gonna be a Nissan 900 Milwaukee. This one is also required. So if I delete Milwaukee and I create it, it says the city field is required. So let's just go to Milwaukee, create. There you go. You have everything you need. You have the currency, you have the make in the city. Okay, let's just go over the application real quick. And let's stop the application. And let's try to type another one. So I have this one, string length 20, but I also want the minimum length. So I want you to at least type 2 letters. Okay, that's another attribute that is very important if you want to think about the minimum length of the input. Let's say what else for city. That's pretty much it. So let's just run the application again. And it should be working. Okay, it's just gonna take a second. So for this second part, I just added this attribute. So I'm just gonna input something with 1 letter, and we're gonna see if it's working or not for the make. So let's just go over to the application. Let's just create a new one. Make E, city Milwaukee, price 200. So it says that the minimum length of 2. Okay, so it's not gonna work. All right, perfect. So I hope you guys like the video, and I'll see you later in another video.